Welcome back. I hope you are in high spirits. As a part of the conceptual class, we understood what are aggregate functions. Let us deepen our understanding with the hands-on. Let's get started. I have logged into Ubuntu. Within Ubuntu, I have logged into MySQL. So let me use a database named University. Yes, there you go. So within that, let me go ahead and create a table called employee 4. Again, you would have created the table multiple times. Here, I'm creating a table named employee 4 with employee ID, employee name, age, location, salary, and department ID are the column names. And we have provided the appropriate data types like int, where int, and int. I created a table. Let us insert some data into this. You have already seen how to insert the data in our previous classes. So please follow the same thing and insert the data into this table. Let us check how the data looks like. I'll say employee 4. Okay, we have this data. Now let us get started with the count. If we want to count all the records in a table, what we can do is we can say select count star. That will count all the records in a table. So that happens to be records. We're taking a very small table so that you understand the function. So one of the first aggregate function is count. We have done a count star. That means here it is counting all the records from all the columns in a table. What if I want to count a specific column? I can do that. Before we do that, if you remember, we did tell when we say count star, it doesn't matter the null values are there. It will go ahead and count that particular record as well. But when we go ahead and count on a particular column, in that case, null is ignored. For example, here salary we have 4 records and we have null is ignored. We have a count of only 4 values here. That is how the difference is there. When you are counting the whole table, null is considered. When you are counting the particular column, null is ignored. We can also combine the count with the condition and also group by. How do we do it? Very simple. In this case, if you see, I am saying select department ID and I'm saying count star from employee 4 where age is less than 25. Group by department ID. How it works is first it will go ahead and run this condition. Whichever the records qualify this condition, those records will be funneled into group by, and group by it is grouping by a department ID. Within each group count will be done. Let us go ahead and execute this. You see here we have two groups, department 1 and department 2. Department 3 is not included because the age here is not less than 25. This record is not qualified because the age is greater than 25. This record is not qualified because age is greater than 25. This record is also not qualified because the age is 25, because our condition is age is less than 25. Only these two records are qualified. Within that, department 1 is only one record and department 2 there is only one record. So this is how we can combine the count along with the condition and also group by. Let us see other functions. Next function being sum. So as I already indicated, most of the aggregate functions are used in the same way. I'm saying select, then sum is the aggregation function. I'm specifying column on which we are using this aggregate function. So this is going to give a sum of the all the values of a salary column. That happens to be 1,63,000. We can also combine sum with the group by and order by. So let us look at the data first. Select star from employee 4. This is our data. We have 5 records. You can see 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2. These are the departments. And we have a salary 30,000, 30,000 in a couple of places, 28,000, 75,000. So let us go ahead and perform a sum on a salary by using group by and order by. So what essentially happens is first the group by happens. The group by is according to the department ID. So department ID 1, department ID 1, these two will be put into one group. This department ID 2, department ID 2, these two records will be put into one group, and 3 that will be put into one group. So then it will sum salary. So 30,000 plus 75,000, it will be added and that will be displayed as a result in the result. You can see department ID 1, sum of these two records, 30,000 and 75,000. Then department ID 2, this is the sum of this record and this record, because this record happens to be null, 28,000. Then department 3, we have 30,000 because there is only one record here. That is how we can use a sum aggregation function along with the group by and order by. Then we can also provide the condition. It is not necessary that we can use aggregate function only with group by and order by. We can also add in a condition. So here, if I specify a select department ID sum salary from employee 4, I'm specifying a condition called where age is greater than 25. Then we'll say group by, then department. We are again grouping by department ID. Then we'll say order by department ID. We are using the same way as we did in an earlier example, except that we are adding a condition here where age is greater than 25. In this case, first this part is executed, then the result of that will be funneled into group by. After group by, sum will be executed. After sum, order by will be executed. Okay, here out of these 5 records, our condition is age is less than 25. This record and this record, only these 2 records qualify the condition. So here we have a department ID 1, department ID 2. Within that, we have 75,000 and 30,000. Let's understand how the average works. All the aggregation functions works in the same way. So we can average on a particular column. Here we are averaging on a salary. So all these 4 values are added and they'll be divided by a 4, because as we understood, null values will be ignored whenever the aggregate functions are executed except the count. So 40,750 is an average of these 4 values. So while taking an average, null value will be ignored. And in this case, all these 4 values will be added and it will be divided by 4 only. That gives us a result of 40,750. We can also combine the average with the group by and order by the way we did with the sum. I already explained how the group by and order by works. Here the syntax is select department ID, average, salary. We are taking average salary. So here, since we are grouping by department ID and ordering by department ID, so within the group, average will be taken. For example, the first group will have a 2 values, 30,000 and 75,000. That happens to be 1,05,000 divided by 2 will be 52,500. So we'll group by the department ID, and within that, whatever the values come, those values will be added and divided by the count of those values. That is how it works. We can also combine the functions with other functions. Like in this case, we are saying average, but we are saying average of distinct salary. Means if you see, distinct is also another function. So we want to find the distinct values in a salary column and want to find an average of. In that case, the distinct values will be taken, the average will be taken out of those distinct values. So let us say select star from employee 4. Can see here salary has 30,000, 28,000, 30,000, 75,000. So 30,000 is duplicate. So only one of this value will be considered. 30,000, 28,000, 75,000. Those 3 values will be added and average will be calculated out of those 3 values. We will see maximum and minimum. Very, very simple but important function, because in any of the data analysis, we got to use these functions. We have select and maximum. We are trying to select a maximum of the salary from the table. So that happens to be 75,000. If you see, out of these, 75,000 is the maximum salary. We can also combine the maximum function with the condition. I'm saying find a maximum from a table where age should be less than 30. In that case, only these 4 values will be considered. These 3 and these 3. Out of these 4, 30,000 is the maximum. Let us see how the minimum works. What we will do is we'll just repurpose this. Instead of max, I will say min. We'll get a minimum value from a salary column. Here it happens to be 28,000. We can also use the minimum along with the condition. I will say min salary where age is less than 30. That happens to be 28,000 because we are saying where age is less than 30. Min salary for the whole table is also same. Min salary with the condition where age is less than 30 is also same. Excellent. We understood how important aggregate functions work by looking at the hands-on examples. Please do practice. Thank you.